Welcome to the CAD Builder video tutorial series. For this video, we will get familiar with the back construction types within CAD Builder. These are finished, unfinished, and clip back. Finished backs are intended to be used when the back can be seen from both the front as well as the back of the cabinet. This is rarely used as most cabinets are mounted on a wall, and island cabinets usually have a back panel or door construction behind them to hide the seams. Unfinished backs, similar to unfinished sides, are back panels that can only be seen from the inside of the cabinet. This is the most common configuration. Clipped backs are relevant almost exclusively to corner cabinets, where a chamfered or clip back is attached to two unfinished backs instead of just two straight panels. This allows for easier placement in room corners, which can be troublesome if the walls are not perfectly straight. Finished and unfinished backs can be accompanied by back nailers, which are intended to provide additional support or more wood depth for cabinet mounting screws. The construction method sets the normal cabinet back behaviors, though some of them can be overridden within the wireframe, like many other settings. We will begin with the most common type, the unfinished back. Set the typical nominal thickness under default back thickness. Unfinished back construction allows you to enable or disable the back panel by default. This can be useful for certain constructions where the back panel is not needed, as on some base cabinets or specialty tall fridge cabinets. We will leave this on by default. Unfinished wall offset dictates where the back panel is located in the cabinet case after installation by using the room wall or case back as the reference point. If you use a plant-on back or zero inset recessed back, and the back panel ends up touching the wall after installation, then pick back panel flush with wall. If you place the nailers behind the back and they are flush with the wall instead, then select nailer thickness offset. If the back is recessed further, then pick custom offset and type in the effective space between the back panel and the associated wall. We will make a recessed back for this example, so we will set this option to nailer thickness offset. The nailer locations and dimensions are set in upcoming options. Set the grain direction to vertical or horizontal. Finished face orientation determines where the finished face of the back is, should it be made out of a single-sided material. Banding sets where the edge banding is required on the back, but we will leave it empty as our back panel is covered on all edges. The finished back has much the same settings: default thickness, grain direction, finished face orientation, and banding. It does not have the wall offset parameter since it's assumed to be placed on the outside of the cabinet. It does have an additional setting, back panel placement. If this is set to inside, then the finished back's depth is included in the cabinet's overall depth measurement. If outside, then it is excluded. So if you set it to outside, then apply a finished back on a cabinet and set its overall depth to 23 1/4, then the effective total depth is 23 1/4 plus the thickness of the back, which in this case is a 3/4 inch, and that will give you 24 inches. Now onto the clip back. Set its default back thickness. Back inset sets the inset value between the chamfered back and the inner edge between the unfinished backs around it. If you put the clip back on the outside edge of the adjacent backs instead, then you should leave this value at 0 and set the joint behavior in the Joints section. This option will be covered in a future video. Finished face orientation can be set to either inside or outside of the cabinet, and we will leave banding empty for this, as with most other back types. The back nailer section marks default back nailer behavior. Set the expected nominal thickness, then toggle them on or off for finished and unfinished backs. If enabled for any of these, then start with the top nailer. Mark Add Top Nailer on and fill in its width, if intending to add to it, otherwise toggle it off. Note that these options can benefit from construction styles just like any other settings. So you could, for example, enable the top nailer for all cabinets and disable it for the bottom so only wall and tall cabinets get it. If enabled, then indicate its position: to back inside, to back outside, or to case. To case is a special setting used when the back panel is disabled altogether and cannot be used as a reference point. Any of these can have an additional offset from the reference edge, which places the back nailer deeper in the cabinet, or closer to the front depending on the value used, though most setups leave this at 0. Repeat this setup for mid nailers and bottom nailers. Mid nailers have an additional minimal cabinet height parameter that toggles it on or off based on the overall height of the cabinet, so that tall cabinets can have it while shorter cabinets can be exempt. The final 3 options set the edges that are to be edge banded on the nailers. Our example deals with a recessed back, so of course we will leave this empty since the nailers wouldn't be seen. But if you place your nailers in front of the back, then set which edges you plan on banding. Keep in mind that back nailers can also be manually turned on or off through the back panel's wireframe editor attributes. Select individual nailer pieces to change their height from the default or change material assignment. Now that we have reviewed the different back construction types, we hope you have a better understanding of how each of these work. Finished backs are intended to be used when the back can be seen from both the front as well as the back of the cabinet. Unfinished backs, the most common configuration, are back panels that can only be seen from the inside of the cabinet. And clipped backs, almost exclusively used with corner cabinets, have a chamfered or clipped back so that it's easier to install in a corner location. And then lastly are the back nailers, which provide additional support and depth when required. Thank you for watching. To view additional video tutorials, please visit www.cabbuildersoftware.com/training.